Good afternoon, good afternoon. Hi. Okay. So, it's Tuesday, I think. Is it Tuesday? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I've got all my admin done this morning. I will be off out to teach later. So we've got a couple of hours to try and wrap up the big top chapter and maybe move on to the last chapter. So let me just make sure I've got all of my bits and pieces. I really should do this before I go live, but you know, we chat while we do it. It's what we do. So, how is everyone doing? Oh, trying to think if anything's happened since yesterday. I don't think anything has. I think we're all the same. Okay. I'm just going to get the last part of this trial done then. I'm pretty sure we are hopefully near the end. Let's grab the game. Game. Let's make sure we know where we are. There we go. Okay. So let's finish. I've got a cup of coffee. And we're back at the office with Maya. Okay. So I think we've got one. Oh no, we've got one more day, haven't we? We've got a right. Okay, so we've got another lot of investigation to do. Okay. Nick? Or what is it? I've got a confession to make. I'm terrible at figuring out magic tricks. Magic tricks? Yep. Excuse me. Oh, I've already got a frog in the throat. It'd be about 3 minutes until I start yawning as well. Okay, magic tricks are, by their very definition, tricks, right? But I can never figure out the tricks when I see them. Yeah, that's because the tricks are performed by pros. They do it so you can't guess the trick. But the trick Pearly showed me was incredible. Pearls did a magic trick. What kind of trick was it? Let's see. It looked like she pulled the end of her own thumb off. Oh, that old chestnut. First she put her right thumb next to her left hand, and then it just separated. She could move it up and down and everything. It was incredible. Really? Was it kind of like this? What? How'd you do that? Nick, you're like a real magician. See, this is why I can't just figure out magic. I'm no good at it. Especially hard tricks like flying away from the scene of a murder. You'll take all the fun out of magic if you keep trying to figure it out. Okay, so, right, there's nothing specific to talk to her about there. So let's go talk to Max, I guess. Oh dear. Oh, it's going to be an interesting day if I can't get my voice to cooperate, isn't it? But I teach a yoga class tonight. Okay. Let's see what Maxi Max has got to say. Oh, my sweeties. You mind hurrying up and getting me out of this place? We're doing our best, Max. Just hang in there. A little while ago, some people from a local TV station came by. And since I'm a famed magician, they said, let's make you your very own TV special. Really? What kind of TV special? Maximilian Galactica, The Great Prison Escape. It would be aired live. That's a terrible idea. Hey, that sounds like it would be an awesome special. No. But if I do the special before I'm acquitted, they'll never let me out of here for real. Well, It would surely be an unnecessary addition to your troubles with the law. That's what I was thinking. But the production staff is already working on the show. If you don't get me out quick, I'll have no choice but to stage a real prison break. You seem awfully calm about that possibility. I'd have no choice. It would be a contractual obligation. That's show business. Okay, so let's talk to Max about the night of the murder. The night of the crime. You didn't happen to fly off into the sky, did you? Here is how everything went down, sweetie. At the time of the murder, I was sitting in the ringmaster's room. Not to mention, flying off into the sky is not just something I can do at will. I don't care what the stoogie clown says. It wasn't me. Max, do you mind teaching me the trick behind flying? You'll have to forgive me, sweetie. The difference between me and cheap imitation magicians is that I keep my mouth shut. I don't teach people tricks, but I will say this much. It's much harder than you think. Okay, so let's ask about today's trial. I was thinking about this in court today. I've got a favour to ask of you. Anything for you, sweetie? Be friends with the other performers in the circus. I mean, that's a bit of a tall order, really. Fabulous, a great joke. Why would I be friends with a bunch of hacks like them? But I've won on the world stage. I won the International Grand Prix. The International Grand Prix. Performers should always look to perform on the world stage. But the performers at this circus are completely and utterly devoid of ambition. That is something I can simply not tolerate. Ambition, huh? Something about what Max just said rings true to my ears. Okay, let's ask about the Grand Prix. Oh my sweeties want to hear all about the Grand Prix, don't they? To be honest, though, I've told this story like 100 times already, so it's a bit boring. Well, we're sorry to make you tell it again. You must... Excuse me. Hickey-ups. You must not have heard me. I'm really sick of telling this story. But what can you do? I'm Maximilian Galactica. I suppose I can tell it again. Voila! Take a look at this. I just happen to have a picture from the Grand Prix with me. Just look at that fabulous stage. That is the first stage that I ever flew on. I flew right over the audience. The crowd erupted into applause. At that time, I thought to myself that I could die right then and die a happy man. I'll never forget how I felt that night. The emotions, the acclaim. Wow. By the way, I think everyone who is a performer should get to experience that feeling. I just wish I could explain that to the other people in the circus. That's incredible, Max. I want a trophy too. Hey, Nick, how about you buy me a trophy? That's not how you earn a trophy, My sweeties, you can have this picture of my triumph. Just make sure you show it to all the other members of the circus. Look and learn. That's what you should tell them. Learn how to get thrown in jail. Okay. So that looks like all we've got for him. Let's pop over to the circus, maybe. You hear that? It sounds like two people arguing. Alright, let's do it. Are you ready? Yes. Wait. Quit your whining. Let's just give this a shot already. Alright, let's go. Row, row, row your boat. Okay, we're singing row, row, row your boat. What are you doing? Gently down the stream. Come on, you know that. trying my best, but Trilo, this just isn't going to work. Do you enjoy saying dumb things? You're going to have to be on your own someday. If you can't handle something as simple as this, what are you going to do then? Hello, Ben. Hello to you too, Trilo. What are you doing here? Can't you see we're on a secret crash training course? I'm sorry. Secret crash training. Oh. Yes. Trilo wouldn't give up until I said we'd try out his new idea for a new routine. So we're trying to sing in a round for our new ventriloquism act. In a round? You can really do that? That's incredible. See? Even they are surprised by the idea. I told you. Okay. They're not the only ones. You even surprised me with your idea. Once we got a grip on the basics, and it's just a matter of practice. You think so? Oh, I almost forgot. I wanted to give this back to you. Why are we giving him back the ring? Ah, there it is. Now that I've got this ring back, it's time to take one more shot at Regina. Okay, so let's see if we can talk to them. Okay, let's ask about today's trial. I know that you already testified in court today. You want to talk about what we saw, right? Yes. Well, at first we thought it was the old man. Just looking at his walk and how he acted. Right, Ben? Huh? Oh yeah, that's right. But then we said hello and we didn't even get a reply. Not to mention, he was draped in those gaudy symbols. What would you have thought if he wasn't wearing those symbols? What do you think, Ben? What? Oh, I would have thought it was the ringmaster. Something just isn't adding up here. I wonder who they really saw. I'll tell you who we haven't seen. That acro guy. I was hoping I could ask you about Regina. I'm completely serious about her. That's why I'm waiting for her even now. Okay? Really? That's so sweet. But if you really wanted to see Regina, shouldn't you check out the tent? Ha! You haven't got a clue about things, do you, sweetheart? Eh? Waiting like this is part of being in love. How so? If you had a clue, you would know that waiting is such sweet, wonderful torture. When your body aches for your partner's love, that's one of the best parts. Yeah, I knew that. Poor Maya. She's so red she looks like a vine-ripe tomato. Okay, let's ask about the ventriloquism. So how is this new routine working out? Will you two just take a chill pill already? Our routines are secret. We're going to take the ventriloquism world by storm. It'll be a real revolution. That sounds incredible. But let me make one thing clear. We're not going to take on the world just because that jerk said we should. That jerk? Max Galactica. Performers should aim for the world. Who does he think he is? Trilo, you seem to be really fired up about all this. He needs to realise that he isn't the only one who can conquer the world stage. You're right. Mark my words, I, Triloquist, will win the Grand Prix. You're the man now, doll. Row, row, row your boat will be the key to a glorious victory. Not to rain on your parade, but wouldn't a more mature song be best? Hey, you've got to start somewhere, right? Don't screw this up. You've got to be a part of this too. Okay. Well, let's go to the lodging house. Hey, Gumshoe. Oh, it's you two. You look like you just got hit by a truck. Shouldn't you get some rest? I'm taking a rest right now, pal. I've been listening to some crazy clown's life story. Ms. Von Karma told me to come down here and do this for her. Yeah, I figured as much. Let me tell you something, pal. Listening to that old clown sucks all your energy. Every time he's done talking, he looks at you like you should be doing something. I think he's waiting for you to laugh at his jokes. I know that, pal. Do you have any idea how much your face hurts if you fake laugh that much? Francisca really set you up bad this time, didn't she? If you ask me, she should be listening to Mo herself. No way, pal. You're not going to get me to backbite a woman with a whip. No way. Why are you defending her? Prosecutor Von Karma's always got her eyes on us. And every time you definitely don't want to show up, poof, there she is. Oh, her to show up. Don't show up, don't show up, don't show up, don't show up, don't show up. Looks like she's wound him up pretty tight. She's directly above us as we speak. Huh? How is that possible? According to the clown, the culprit jumped from here and disappeared into the sky. If that's what happened, it means the killer passed right by this window, pal. Oh, I see. Who lives in that room, behind the window up there? Is there a ladder to get up there? The acrobat's got his room up on the 3rd floor, it seems. Pretty soon, Ms. Von Karma's going to start her investigation up there. So don't get any ideas of going up to the acrobat's room. Got it, pal? Francisca Von Karma. When she's done with her investigation, I think I'll go up there and check it out. Okay, so we're not going to go there straight away then. So let's go and see where else we can go. Should we go... see who's in here? Huh. Where's Regina? I don't know. But if she's with that tiger, I don't want to find out. Let's hurry up and get out of here. Yeah. Nick, you're kind of a chicken, aren't you? No. It's just, allergic to wild tigers. I'm not sure they're wild. Okay, let's go to the cafeteria. Yeah. Oh, here's Momo. Ah, right. Welcome to the wonderful, the fabulous, the cafeteria. Yikes. He's in an awfully good mood. Alright. You know what time it is? Riddle time. Why does everyone cry when they eat Mexican pizza? Come on, you can answer this. It's easy. Because cafeteria Mexican pizza is possibly a weapon of bowel destruction. Wrong. Try again. Okay. What do you think, girlie? I got it. Okay, what's your answer? Because they're in the cafeteria. Exactly. It's an incredibly sad place, that cafe. Okay. I did it. What's going on? He is being too nice. Okay, so do we have... Let's have a look. Today's trial. Today's been a really crazy day, hasn't it? You're telling me? I didn't think it was going to be so tough. Tough? Yeah, it was a tough crowd. That's what you call a crowd that refuses to laugh. For instance, it was such a tough crowd this morning I had to smash watermelons. Huh? I told them all a great story and even greater jokes, but no one busted out laughing. You even used the famed no shoes, no shirt, no service joke. Exactly. How can you not laugh at stunning comedy like that? Okay. Are you 100% sure about your testimony today? I saw what I saw. I swear. That creep just flew through the air. It wasn't exactly flying per se. It was more like floating. The silhouette of his face made me positive it was Max. I don't see a psyche lock, so he must be telling the truth. Okay. Shall we ask him about doing the Grand Prix? He did tell me to tell them all to do it. Not this picture. He showed it to you guys too. Huh? You've seen it as well? Well, you know what they say about Maximilian Galactica? He really gets around. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. He didn't just show me the picture. What do you mean? He showed me his bust too. Let me tell you, that thing is enormous. It's in the picture, I think. So it is. He'd make us worship it every day. He made us bow to his greatness. He's got a big bust. I wouldn't mind hearing more about Max's bust. Not that I'm into that sort of thing. Okay, has that given us more? Let's talk about Max. Max's bust should be on that small table over there. There's nothing over there. Really? Oh yeah. When was it? I'd say about 5 days ago. All of a sudden, the bust disappeared. It disappeared? If you want to see it, there's a photo on the bulletin board over there. Max just had to put the picture up. Hey, this thing's really cool. Nick, I want someone to make a bust of me. Sure, as long as I'm not paying for it. Ah. Okay, so we've got a bust added to there. Is there anything else that's changed about this place? Nope, nothing's changed that I can see. I wonder if he's actually thinking about this or if he's just setting up a bad joke. No, I'm drawing a blank here. A quiet mow is a good mow in my book. I guess there really aren't any other things that have changed, huh? Well, there is this one teensy tiny thing that does seem different. Tell us. What changed? Well, on the morning of the crime, over on that bulletin board, this piece of paper was posted front and centre. Piece of paper? Is that some sort of like stick and paste ransom note? It's torn, so I don't know what it said, but I could see its title. It says, "To the murderer." Murderer? Yep, that's what it says, but the rest of it has been ripped off. And I don't know who posted it. When did you find this? The morning before the murder. Before the murder? Yeah, the ringmaster was killed the night after this paper was discovered. Who in the world posted this thing? Interesting. Nick, I think we'd better follow up on this important lead. Okay, so should we go and ask Max about it? Let's go do that. Max, I need to talk to you. Now I need to present you. I want to know about this. Talk to me. Do you know anything about this note? The morning of the murder, it was posted on the wall in the cafeteria. I do know all about that note. When I read it, my heart certainly skipped a beat. Your heart skipped a beat? While I was enjoying my morning tea, the ringmaster and company entered the room. And company? I guess it wasn't really a company, it was just the ringmaster and my sweetie pie. When the ringmaster read the note, he turned an incredible bright red. All of a sudden, he tore it off the wall and shoved it into the pocket of his tailcoat. That's what that piece of paper is. Really? Out of curiosity, what in the world was written on that thing? Let's see. Oh, I don't want to steal the fun from my sweeties. Go and find out on your own. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. You might also want to ask my sweetie pie princess. Okay. So let's then go to the ringmaster's room. Go and get that piece of paper out of his pocket. Oh, I've got a whingy dog. What's the matter, Archibald? Hello, little boy. Sometimes we just have to acknowledge him for a minute, just so that he goes back to sleep. Don't we? You have to just pay him attention for a little bit. Yeah. Little boy. Are you settling? Okay, just give me 5 minutes. I'm just going to sort the dog out because he seems like he needs to get up for something. So I'm just going to go and sort him out. I'll be back shortly. Hello, I'm back. Okay, what was I doing? I was going to go to the detention centre, wasn't I? No, I was going to the ringmaster's room. That was what I was doing. Okay. Also got myself a little bit of bread. Max and the ringmaster had their talk in this room. That could have been when the ringmaster put Max's costume on and went outside. Sure could. Why'd he do that anyway? Was it really that cold or something? I mean, potentially, but I want this. Hey, do you see that? There's a scrap of paper shoved into the pocket of the tailcoat. You know, I've got a feeling I know what that is. I bet that's the other half of that note that Mo gave us. Then let's hurry up and check this thing out, Nick. I knew it. This fits perfectly with the other piece. I wonder what this is going to be about. Is this going to implicate somebody else? Just getting breadcrumbs everywhere now. Okay. What does it say? What does it say? To the murderer. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Meet me at 10 p.m. tonight at the Lodging House Plaza. Oh? Tonight at 10 p.m. That's when the murder took place. Okay. Now we need to find out who called the ringmaster. Okay. So let's go. Maybe. Let's just move through a couple of. Okay. Maybe this one. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. I'm sure you did a good job as usual. Well, I am done with the investigation of the acrobat finally. But with Ms. Von Karma... Oh dear. Is he getting... Nick, what is that? That beeping sound? It's Ms. Von Karma. Huh? Every time I hear that sound, she's usually not very far behind. Some sort of pager or something? If you don't mind, pal, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here quick. See you, pal. I didn't know that Gumshoe could run that fast. So much for being a flatfoot. Never seen a grown man so afraid of a girl still in her teens. Well, let's go inside. It's freezing out here. Ow! The wind is as biting as lashes from a whip. Von Karma. She really did appear. It was a real battle today in court, wasn't it, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Did you have to jump out and scare us like that? What can I do for you? Tomorrow will be the day my dream finally comes true. You mean the story of my defeat at your hands making the national news? National news? You possess such a small sense of scale. The global news, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Your miserable plight will be known internationally. she might be overestimating the importance of a win by just a smidge. Okay. Ms. Von Karma, it appears you got your hands onto something big, huh? I'm amazed you picked up on that much. Anyone could? You couldn't hide that look of victory with 10 paper bags on your head. I've got conclusive evidence and a conclusive witness. Need any more hints? A conclusive witness? You must mean the acrobat, right? I'm putting in the summons for him to be called as a witness as we speak. It's the final nail in your coffin, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Yeah. I get it already. You want to beat and destroy me. I can't worry about her. Got to try and find out more information myself. Okay, let's ask about revenge. Why do you keep giving Nick the evil eye? It doesn't matter if you prove the defendant guilty tomorrow. Nothing will be able to bring your dad back. My dad? You must mean the esteemed Manfred von Karma. Of course, your dad. I know you miss him. Enough out of you. One more word and you'll get a mouthful of whip. Now, when did I ever bring up my papa's name in this or in any other conversation? Good point. Then what's this revenge you keep talking about? You wouldn't understand, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I have to see him again. One more time. Him? I'm sure you know to whom I refer. Miles Edgeworth. What? Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth. Okay. Miles Edgeworth. Why would you even bring him up? Yeah, why would you bring him up? What's he got to do with you, Von Karma? You haven't forgotten, have you? Do you know who it was that trained the gifted prosecutor Miles Edgeworth? Manfred von Karma. Exactly right. It was my papa. That means that Edgeworth was right again. Miles was like a little brother to me. Huh? Little brother? But Edgeworth and Nick are the same age. Edgeworth. The man who inspired me to become an attorney. I fought against him in a few cases. But a little after that case was over, he vanished. It's your fault he's gone. Huh? It's the truth, isn't it, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Nick, what does she mean? Is he dead? Edgeworth was never quite the same after that case. And then, with the case after that one. He never set foot into court again. And then one day, he just vanished. Interesting. All he left was a simple note at the prosecutor's office. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. That was 1 year ago. It was a few months after you left to go back home. Mr. Edgeworth, he's dead. I don't believe it. He's still alive, I'm sure of it. Somewhere in this world, he's still alive. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death. Of course he did. You've ruined his reputation as a prosecutor. You effectively killed the prosecutor in him. Just like your victory muddied the honourable name von Karma. I'm going to find him. And then I'm going to teach him his rightful place with my own 2 hands. Nick, about Mr. Edgeworth. Maya, I already told you this once. Don't make me do it again. Don't bring up his name in front of me again, okay? Nick. Ms. Von Karma. What? I don't know if you are God's gift to prosecutors or not, but I've had about enough of you. Him too. What in the world happened? This dog is all bark and no bite. He's already been defeated. Regardless, I have nothing to inform you 2 of today. Tomorrow will be the greatest courtroom battle this country has ever seen. Nick? Let's go. We need to talk with the performer on the 3rd floor. I'm sorry I brought it up, Nick. Okay, so can we go to Acro's room then? Hello, Acro. You're new. You must be Phoenix Wright. Yes. Pleased to meet you. I'm Ken Dingling. But everyone here at the circus just calls me Acro. Mr. Acro? How do you know my name? The detective told me. He said you'd definitely show up here. Acro, you're a member of this circus as well? That's right. I mainly performed on the tightrope or the flying trapeze. But nowadays, all I perform is in my wheelchair. Oh. Okay, so let's have a chatty chat to him. Acro, why did you join the circus? When I was a kid, my parents failed miserably at business. Then one night, they decided to run away from it all without me. The only person who was willing to take my parents' place was the ringmaster. The ringmaster took such incredible care of me. He was truly a lifesaver. It seems like the ringmaster was truly a saint. He was. That's why I decided to do something very important. I decided that I would devote my entire life to finding a way to repay him. And now, look how someone repaid him for all the good in his life. It's such a shame. Sometimes I think that he was almost too kind. Perhaps he was too kind to his performers. Perhaps he was too kind to his daughter. I wonder if he spoiled Regina. Regina is so cute. She's truly a princess. Truly a princess? Are you sure that's a good thing? Do I detect a hint of a grudge against Regina? Okay, so why is he in the wheelchair? I'm sorry to ask, but why are you in a wheelchair? The nerves in my legs were badly damaged. And you can't walk now? I can't even stand now. And since I live on the 3rd floor, I can't even leave this building by myself. That's awful. The accident happened during an acrobatic session, right? Oh, well, this guy's hiding something. Cyclops. It doesn't seem like Acro's injuries were acrobatic in nature. What's on your mind, Mr. Wright? Well, exactly when were you injured? It's been almost 6 months since I was hurt. I injured my legs during practice. 6 months ago? What in the world went on at this circus then? Okay. I stopped by yesterday and noticed that you weren't in your room. I was at the hospital all day yesterday. You went there for rehabilitation? What about the murder? Of course, I knew about it. I spoke with the police before they allowed me to go to the hospital. Before I got the call from the prosecutor, I was convinced it was all a dream. Huh? I just couldn't believe it when I saw what I saw. What you saw? Geez, that sounded really ominous. Yeah? How did you... I thought you said it was a dream. Okay, what did you see, Mr. Acro? Okay, that night, I was in bed sleeping when I heard a huge sound coming from below my window. I see. The scene of the crime was right below your window. That's when I looked out the window. What did you see? He was flying straight up into the air. He? Maximilian Galactica. What? That's what I thought he'd say. You're absolutely positive it was Max you saw flying? I'm absolutely sure. There's no doubt in my mind. Nick? Okay. So we need to go and find some stuff to unbreak his locks. Okay. Big top. Oh no, it's the tiger back. I've got a bad feeling about this. Nick. Wonderful. Today's special must be Filet-O-Phoenix. Stay. Heel. Oh, Maya, Nick. It's you guys. I'm sorry, I guess I made a mistake. A mistake? Yeah, a little one. I was thinking of teaching whatever primate was out there a lesson. But I was expecting more of a monkey than a human. A monkey? It's a pity about what happened to the ringmaster. Dad. Everyone loved him, didn't they? He must have been quite a man. He was. I love my dad so much. I hate to say it, but she doesn't seem all that broken up about her father. That's why I feel so lonely. What? Now that I won't be able to see him for a while. For a while? Yeah. When Leon died, I talked with my dad and he told me that when someone dies, they just become a star in the heavens. star. And that means my dad is looking down on me from the sky. That's why I love the night so much. I can see everyone who's gone. When someone dies, they just become a star in the heavens. That's kind of sweet. But I bet you there's no way Maya believes that. What do you mean there's no way I believe that? Do you think that one day I'll be a star too? Of course. You really think so? Yeah, you will, I think. I've got a feeling that everyone is doing great up there in the sky. I wonder if everything's alright with Regina. Okay, let's ask about the monkey. Just to go back and clear something up, why do you want to teach Money a lesson? Because he's a meanie. He's got something that means a lot to me. Something that means a lot to you must be something shiny, right? Actually, it's a stage costume. It's got lots of spangles. It's really beautiful. You should see it. We should. Okay. When the costume gets hit by the spotlight, it dazzles. Hey, Mr. Attorney. Huh? If you saw that monkey, you'd get my costume back for me, wouldn't you? It's really important to me. But of course, leave it all up to us. Guess there's no turning down that request. Yeah, you're really gonna do it? Okay. Should we ask her about a couple of these things? Okay. Regina, have you ever seen this before? I know what this is. Really? Well, it was in my pocket for a while. Why? It was in your pocket. This piece of paper was in your pocket. I guess I noticed it was in there around breakfast time. Breakfast time? Yeah, I always take Acro his breakfast in the morning. That's when I also take out the trash in his room. Then I'd go down to the cafeteria to eat my own breakfast. Okay, so you found that in your pocket, addressed to the murderer. And the only person that could have put it there was Acro. Why does Acro think you're a murderer? Has it got something to do with this Leon? Did you hurt his legs? What happened? Were you meant to meet? Were you meant to die? Yeah, but since I'm not a murderer, I just figured it belonged in someone else's pocket. And then what? I wondered if the person who lost it was in trouble. So, you didn't put it on the bulletin board in the cafeteria, did you? I did. I stick it up there. How'd you know? Huh. So it was Regina who put it up there. When did this happen? The morning of the murder, I think. That explains a lot. I wonder who wrote this. Okay. Should we ask about the pepper? That's pepper, isn't it? From the cafeteria? Huh? It's from the cafeteria. It's not? I remember seeing it there. So this was the cafeteria's Pepper. You know, I'm not a big fan of Pepper. Okay. So, should we go and look for her outfit? Where have we seen some outfits? Mo's room? Mo's not here. What's that? I hear something. Stop it, Nick. You're scaring me. Nick, it's money. That monkey's holding something. That's it. That's the thing that means a lot to Regina, remember? Alright, time to take on this monkey, attorney style. Okay, give it back, monkey brain. Oh, that means a lot to Regina. A real man wouldn't make a oh, okay. Do we have it though? I tried to have a man-to-man talk with him. I really did. You know, man-to-man isn't really accurate. It was more like man-to-monkey. Nick, you... I swiped it while Money was distracted. Wow. You're really on the ball today, Nick. Let me see it. Let me see it. You can see it fine from where you are. You know what I mean. I really want to try on Regina's costume. Maybe then they'll take you in at the circus and I can get some peace and quiet. What's the matter now? It doesn't fit me at all. Oh well. Guess it's time for you to lay off the burgers. Rude. Not to mention it doesn't look like something any girl I know would actually wear. Okay, so let's take that back to Regina then. Can we present it? There you go, Regina. Here you go, Regina. Here you go, Regina. Yay, thank you. You really got it back for me. Don't mention it. I love you, Mr. Attorney. Well, it's nothing. No wonder guys melt to mush in front of this girl. Hey, Regina. That costume is yours, right? I tried it on, but it didn't fit me. Huh? This costume? This isn't mine. It was Leon's. Leon's? You know, the lion she told us about? Oh, the one that someone killed. Okay, so maybe Acro thinks that Regina killed Leon. Oh, Leon's a very beautiful lion. Leon, he was killed, wasn't he? That's right, my dad killed him. Why? Well, Leon did something really bad during practice. During practice? Leon was sitting down and then he opened his mouth and you know... Usually when he did that, I would put my head in his mouth. Wait, you put your head into a lion's mouth? I sure did. The people in the crowd always loved seeing me do that. They'd always start screaming. Are you sure they were screaming because they loved seeing you do that? Anyways, what was the bad thing? Oh yeah, Leon bit someone during that practice. Regina, everything was alright though, right? No, it wasn't alright. That was the problem. My dad was incredibly angry. And that's when Leon... Yeah. That's when he became a star in the sky. Poor thing. Did he bite? Did he bite Acro? Is that why Acro is in the wheelchair? Okay, let's go wandering about. Where haven't we been for a little bit? Cafeteria. Something smells fantastic. So we know it can't be Mo. Wait, I know what it is. It's burgers. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Bistro du Cirque, aka the cafeteria. It smells so good in here, and those burgers look great. She's drooling like she's some sort of crazed burger monster. It's not probably a good look. My burgers are the best. Juicy meat, toasted buns, special sauce. They're absolutely irresistible to anyone with a hankering for a burger. One bite will send you into hamburger heaven. I bet. I can tell by the smell. Oh, I'm getting hungry too. Those burgers must have some kind of special power. Okay. Now that the ringmaster is gone, what are you going to do? That's all I've thought about the past 2 days. Everyone loved Russell. You've heard Acro's story, haven't you? Like how he was adopted when he was younger. He's calmed down a bit now, but he was livid when he heard about the murder. Acro was so upset that he said he couldn't go on. He was that upset? Yes, he was. Anyways, I gave it some thought. Maybe I should give up on trying to be a half-baked clown. I've been thinking of trying on the ringmaster's shoes. What? Really? Max would still be an issue, though. Max? He may be a bit mean and hard to work with, but it's hard to argue his importance. He's probably the reason the circus is still around. A lot of what he says is right. Mo? All that's left is to see if everyone can get over the tragedy. You know, the tragedy, what is he talking about? Get over what tragedy, Mo? Huh? Don't worry about it, it's nothing. Nothing at all. He must mean the tragic death of the ringmaster, right? Yes, that's it, you're right, girlie. Dang, dang, dang. Correctamundo. Doesn't he mean dink? Mo, I mean no disrespect here, but are you lying to us? No, not at all. What makes you think that? Just the way you said, if everyone can get over the tragedy, seemed a bit strange. It sounded like you were talking about something from a long time ago. Mo, I'm right, aren't I? Okay. Do we have... How about... It was about 6 months ago. It was just a little accident. Give me a break. Us old men have accidents. I wear big pants for a reason. 6 months ago, eh? Okay, do we have... Okay, we've got Leon 6 months ago, so we could ask about that. How about we do that? Okay, let's present the Magatama. And see if we can unlock at least one. Mo, please tell us what happened 6 months ago. What in the world went on at this circus? Okay, there's no need to look scary when you ask me. Hey, look over there, some juicy burgers. Let's eat instead. Unfortunately, I'm more of a grilled chicken sandwich man myself. Actually, I've kind of got an idea of what happened back then. Mo, you said something about an accident? This wouldn't happen to be the cause of that accident, would it? Okay. I heard a little bit about it from Regina. Leon made a mistake during a practice, right? How did you... Right, that's one down. I told them so many times, you shouldn't be doing such dangerous acts. Like putting her head inside Leon's mouth, right? Yeah, but Regina believed in Leon. She believed so strongly that the ringmaster went along. He never could say no to her. Out of curiosity, who was bitten? Come on, Mo, don't clam up on me now. Who did Leon bite on the head? Well, I promised I wouldn't say anything. You promised? He's involved in this too. He's involved, huh? Mo must be talking about... Mo, is this the person you promised you wouldn't say anything? Okay, so I think it's Acro that he bit. It must have been Acro, right? How did you know? Don't worry about that, Mo. Getting to the bottom of this accident may help solve what happened to the ringmaster. No way. I need to know the truth about what happened to Russell. Please tell me what you know. I'm sorry, Acro. Okay. It's just like you said, you know, the accident. Did someone die? No, but it would have probably been better if he had. What? How would that have been better? He's still alive. But when he got bit, he suffered massive brain damage. He'll never recover from the coma that he's in. Coma? All he does now is lie in his bed at the hospital. And that's all he's ever going to be able to do. I see. How is he related to Acro? He's his brother. Huh? The person who got bit was Acro's brother. Brother? They were an acrobat team of brothers, Acro and Bat. Cute nicknames, I thought. Anyways, they were an incredible team, cut down together in their prime. Okay, so ask about the brother. Who is Acro's younger brother? Sean Dingling. But everyone just called him Bat. He fell in love with Regina. Trying to win her love was his downfall. Everyone seems to fall in love with Regina. 6 months ago, while we were practicing, all of a sudden, Bat blurts out, "Let me perform with Leon." Why'd he do that? I don't know. But that's what caused the accident. Oh dear. I'll never forget that moment. It was so strange. Leon had the weirdest look on his face. He was smiling. You mean Leon? Yes, Leon. When he bit down, he was smiling. Some sick grin. Interesting. No way. That's impossible. A smirking lion, a flying murderer. Why does it seem that it's always Mo who catches all of these incredible events? Nick, can lions smile? We never told the police about the incident. The circus would have been shut down if we had. The next day, the ringmaster took Leon out and shot him with a rifle. So that's what really happened. Well, You guys were so serious. What was I supposed to do? I had to tell you. But all this truthfulness has put me in the mood for a burger. Here, you two have some pepper. There he goes again, acting like his normal crazy self. Achoo. Nice. What a wonderful sneeze. You think so? You sneeze with pepper and slip on a banana peel. That's basic clownsmanship. Ellie, I know you gotta understand that. Nick, I think I'd make a good clown. Other than Regina, I've never seen a cuter sneezer. Does Regina sneeze with pepper too? She does. Bat would always tease her with pepper. Bat? From my point of view, those two always looked so perfect together. They looked perfect together, huh? Okay. So, maybe we go and see if we can unlock Acros now. Now we know about his brother. I have to remember my way around. Lodging house. Acro's room. Right, let's speak to Acro. Ah, Mr. Wright, back again, I see. Well, he did say I'll be back. Wait, or was that someone else? We're back because Acro's hiding why his legs were injured. He was hurt in the accident 6 months ago. It would seem that he knows that we know. Well. It seems you've got things you want to talk about, so fire away. Okay, let's present you my Magatama so that we can break down some lucky locks. Okay, about the wheelchair. I have to ask you, how were you injured? I'm sorry, I thought we talked about this. It was an accident that happened during practice. An accident during practice? Yes, unfortunately acrobats are prone to all sorts of injuries. He's lying. If that were the real cause, he'd have no reason to keep it a secret. Acro, are you really telling me that a practice accident was the cause of your injury, or was it this lion here? Leon. 6 months ago you were attacked by the lion. That's when you were injured. One down. I know I'm on the right track, I just need to keep going. You're saying that I was attacked by a lion? That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'm an acrobat. I'm no animal tamer. If a lion was coming at me, I'd be running for the exit. Okay, maybe attacked is not the best word to be using. So let me rephrase that as battled the lion. You seem to enjoy telling jokes. Why would I decide to battle a lion? Because you had to fight it. You had to fight it to save someone. You had to fight it to save Bat. Batty bat bat. Bat. It was a shame what happened to your brother 6 months ago. You tried to save him, didn't you? And that's how you got that terrible injury. Mo, he must have told you. Yes, we learned about Bat from Mo, but he didn't mention anything about you in regards to the accident. I suppose it was just a slip of the tongue on his part. That's how I figured it out. A slip of the tongue. Anyways, they were an incredible team, cut down together in their prime. Cut down together. That was where he slipped, and that's how I figured it out. You two ended up at the centre of the same accident together, like always. I see. But an accident is an accident. It wasn't anyone's fault. I still haven't broken Acro's last cyclock. This must be one incredibly deep-seated secret. It wasn't anyone's fault. Do you care to explain more? Acro, I know you're still hiding something from me. Maybe someone you don't seem to like much is the reason you're being evasive. He didn't seem to like Regina, did he? Regina. You always seem calm and collected until you start talking about her. Saying things like she's cruel. Well done, Mr. Attorney. You've got quite the set of eagle eyes. You know, a tiger tried to attack me. Regent tried to attack you. Twice. Huh. He wasn't serious, I'm sure. You're not trying to insinuate that I believe she spurred on Leon to attack Bat, are you? Maybe. Leon was never taught a command to attack people. Regina isn't capable of doing anything like that. Besides, Regina had no reason to want to hurt my little brother. Regina and Bat were such good friends back then. But you still hate Regina? I've got proof of it. What? What are you talking about? Oh, maybe I overdid it again. But if I can hand something over to Acro, maybe it'll... Here's proof that you had it out for Regina all along. Okay, so it's got... Whoops. I meant to do this. So I'm going to go with the note. Nearly blew my whole thing. Look at that. That was bad. Okay. This. Where'd you get it? Regina posted it on the bulletin board in the cafeteria. Before that, it was in her pocket. I guess I noticed it when... I guess I noticed it was in there around breakfast time. I always take Acro his breakfast in the morning. You wrote this and then you put it in her pocket. That's right, isn't it? That's right. Well done, Mr. Wright. Okay, at least that's got my health bar back. Ugh. Okay, so we can ask about the wheelchair now. The dog's up and about again. My legs were injured by Leon 6 months ago. My younger brother Bat had a dare with Regina. A dare? An absurd dare. If I can put my head inside of Leon's mouth like you do, you have to go to the movies with me on a date. That's insane. Didn't he know how dangerous that is? We all thought he was being stupid too. But that lion was very old to begin with. An age brought with it countless experience in doing this very trick. Unfortunately, this particular time, I guess Leon wasn't ready or willing. And that's when the accident happened. He just wanted to take her out to the movies. Poor Bat. When Leon chomped down, I jumped towards him. And then Leon attacked me, and that's how I ended up. What about Bat? He's still in a coma. I went to the hospital yesterday to visit him. I see. I'm still waiting for him to open his eyes again. And that's the reason why I keep going. Okay, so we should ask about Regina and Bat then. I just need to go, just give me a second. I just need to go and sort the dog out. It seems to be my entire life is just running around after this dog. Be right back. Okay, I'm kind of back. That's right, the dog's deciding whether he wants to go and eat his dinner or not, which he is doing right now, so I'm going to let him eat for a little bit. Let's get on with what is happening here. So let's ask about Bat and Regina. They were such great friends. Oh yeah, I wanted you to take a look at this. What is this? This is the scarf my brother was wearing when Leon attacked him. Oh, gross. It's covered in blood. This scarf, it was a present from Regina to my brother on the day of the accident. When he did it, he looked like he was smiling. He? Leon, obviously. Oh. When he bit down on Bat's head, the expression on Leon's face looked like a grin. Nick, I know, Mo said the same thing. What do you think it all means? I'll be taking that scarf if you don't mind. Of course, it's Von Karma. Ms. Von Karma, I've already heard everything, so hand over the scarf. But the scarf is evidence in the trial. That is for me to decide. I think we should begin our preparations now, Acro. Preparations? I've served a summons to Acro to appear in court tomorrow as a witness. Acro will talk more at the prosecutor's office. Acro, a witness? Come, Acro, let's go to the office. Yes, ma'am. Now what do we do, Nick? How are we going to handle tomorrow? Don't worry about it, I'll figure something out. Look at you, all full of confidence. You must have found something you can use. This is all beginning to come together now. Is it? I'm glad you're confident, because... What? Okay. To be continued. Okay, so... Let's do the first half of the trial, at least. What time am I on? Let's see where we're at. Okay, I've got another half an hour, so... Ish. If you can hear all that clacky-clacking, that's my crazy loony dog wandering around. Okay, let's save this. Come on, Arch. Archie, come on. Trying to get him to get back in bed so we can chill for 5. Come on, puppy. Okay. Good morning, Max. Oh, yeah. Good morning, sweeties. You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today. I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it. Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Regina? How fabulous. My sweetie pie princess. You came to watch my performance today? Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come watch this. Mo said that. Okay, just 1 second. I'm just going to go and let the dog out. 1 sec. Okay, sorry about that. Okay. So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess. You'll fly at the end? Oh. It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties? Huh? I think my sweet pie princess doesn't... Yeah, she doesn't seem to realise what's going on. Or even where she is. Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience. Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there. Good luck, Max. You're the best. Regina's different, don't you think, Nick? Top of the morning to you. Everybody, let's get ready to stuck in legal limbo. How low can you go? Mo. Top of the morning to you, Governor. Top of the morning. That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm, but then again, worms lack higher brain function. Here, Max, I bought you a present. Have some milk. Oh my. Thanks. So, how are you today, Wright? Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm going to face off against the real culprit. You mean Acro? Huh? You think he did it? Maybe? Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line. Literally. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses. What are you going to do then, Nick? I guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth. You're right, but it's going to be tough. Anyways, I want you to make sure that Regina sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father. You want us to make sure Regina watches? Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today. What's that supposed to mean? She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars. Oh, that's a bit mean, Mo. Okay, so we're in the courtroom. Let's do the thing. Okay. Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactica. The prosecution is ready, Your Honour. The defence is ready, Your Honour. Very well, Ms. Von Karma, you may proceed with your case. The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events. What's the meaning of this? We've discovered a new witness, or shall I say, a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly off from the scene of the crime. Order, order. I had a feeling something like this would come up. Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders. Poor Gumshoe. Very well, please call your witness to the stand. Time to get to work. Or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope? Name and occupation? Ken Dingling, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Berry Big Circus. Where were you the night of the crime? I was in my room that night. If you look at the map, you will see that the witness's room is near the crime scene. My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window. The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you tell us what you witnessed? Okay. Okay, what I witnessed. It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Interesting. So wouldn't it have taken him a while to get out of bed into his wheelchair and to the window? Just around that time, I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. Then a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who he looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming. This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown. If that's the case, there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the night. Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness. A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of a sad fool. A man must know the proper timings for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth did. Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with this witness's testimony? In the words of Ms. Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There is no way that actually happened. Very well. You may proceed with your cross-examination. Okay, so what do we have? We have 10 p.m. resting in bed, not a problem. Thump noise, a few moments later. How could you see him? What made you think it was Max Galactica? The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window? He's still got his hat on there. That should be on the floor at the scene of the crime. The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, there was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front. Did you see any of the other symbols? I clearly saw the silk hat, as well as the cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. But maybe there was something fishy with this latest bit of testimony. There's a contradiction. There should be a hat. There is a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence. She's right. Let me see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction? I have a hat. You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state I'm in. Just looking outside of the window was a tough enough challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? Nope. Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat. Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has two silk hats? No. This is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means acro. That you've been fibbing on the stand. Nice. Order, order. As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking. Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up. How about it, Mr. Wright? What would cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today? I think Acro did it. Your Honour, on this occasion, the defence accuses Acro himself. On this occasion? Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of? Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry. Right, are you serious? Deadly serious, Your Honour. I think your trips to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honour, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book. Really? If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to be almost scary. He's staying rather calm and collected. Mr. Dingling. Dingling. Do you have any response to the defence's accusation? I don't really need to say a thing, do I? What do you mean? Everyone, take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house. That's true. I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things. See, even a sliver of common sense makes it clear the accusation is ludicrous. She's right. Wait to pick on the disabled, you heartless, cruel man. Phoenix is a poopy head. See that, Mr. Phoenix Wright? If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it. Ugh. I think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defence is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defence now. Acro had an accomplice. What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice? No. Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice. Not this time, Von Karma. What? You're not going to sucker me into this one. What are you blabbering about, Mr. Wright? There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself. Oh, did he drop the missing bust out of his window on top of his head with a rope, and that's how it looked like? Oh, that's how it looked like it flew away. There were no footsteps because it was a bust. Is that what's happening? My head hurts. Oh, order, order. What are you getting at? Way to keep them on their toes, Nick. Now I'm going to have to prove how it all fits together. I have to show how Acro murdered Russell Berry. Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do that? I know what I can't do. Can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed. Alright, then let's do it. Mr. Phoenix Wright, if this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right? Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dingling? In his apartment. He was obviously here the entire time. That's Acro's room. Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can be only one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster. What? Are you nuts? What say you, Mr. Dingling? It's an interesting theory. That's it. Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes, that's it. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honour. Excuse me. As a witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer. You've got a point. It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true. Mo said that he saw, didn't he? Well, Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? If I can't leave my room, I obviously couldn't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet. Be careful, Nick, if you mess up here. She's right. I can't mess up here. I've got to give this one some serious thought. I'm sure that Acro killed the ringmaster. And he did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it. Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright. Okay, let's present some evidence. I'm going to present some evidence. So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the murder against Mr. Russellberry? We don't actually have the bust, do we? This picture has the bust on it, doesn't it? Okay, that's not enough. Maybe. I think you should try again, especially before someone gets a chance to say something. Yeah, you're probably right. So as I was saying, this piece of evidence... Stop, wait I say, before you start over, you must be penalised. Oh, he caught me. And if you don't put an end to this funny business, I've got a few more ideas. I'm going to present some evidence. So what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the murder against Russellberry? Okay, picture of the crime scene. Circus map. Grand Prix photo. The bust? That's... What's that? A picture? It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in the picture. The bust. It's quite a large bust, and because it is life-size, it's also very, very heavy. Heavy. Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. Ah. Oh, his birds have gone. Calmness, gone away. See, this is how Acro was able to kill the ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galactica's ample bust. Okay, order. So you're saying the bust fell onto the ringmaster? A rather simple crime. Even if you were stuck in a wheelchair, it would have been incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? It's impossible. Well, Acro is an acrobat. He should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust. Mr. Dingling, how do you respond to these charges? Well, Acro's at a loss for words. He should be. He knows that I'm getting closer to the truth. Well, Acro. You can't run away from things this time. I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Your Honour, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get a proper testimony from the witness himself. Testimony, you say? Von Karma. She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time. There is absolutely no need for such testimony. The defence has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond. The defence's objection is overruled. Why can't he see things my way once in a while? Mr. Dingling, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony. The witness will have no problems. However, let's all be respectful towards him. Thank you. Ugh, that woman will sink to any low to win a case. Okay. What have we got now? I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bust. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him. Don't you think? No, it depends whether you put the box down there first, doesn't it? I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony. It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries. That's what I was thinking. What's your opinion on the matter, Mr. Wright? I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination. He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really. I can't let her get to me. Got to focus. Focus. Okay. So, when he says he couldn't have known, I think if we... No, not this one. Okay. How about, do we... He put the box there so he would know where it is. Acro, you didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add. Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence? But I did such a good job hinting. Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. Wright. Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box. The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over. The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box here? Who? When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime. I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense. The moment that the bust came falling down was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean, if the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box, there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim? No. Oh, yes. Order. This is unbelievable. Finally, some of these loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just got to keep going, and there's only one way to go from here. Forward. So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene? It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down. Allow me to whip some sense into you, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. The weight of the box. The weight of the box. You wouldn't just be able to pick it up and move it. It was iron lead. This box has remarkable weight. Weight. According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds. Just to lift up this wooden box would have required... Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and then lift it with their body, wouldn't you say? That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large. The box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it? That is correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place. Fool. Okay, he's not bothered. Not bothered. Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I've heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills. Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza? Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? I remember. Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria. Then what happened to it? I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself. That means... You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room? The monkey? The monkey stole it? You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright, explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. Ugh. Tell us exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria. Yep, we definitely have a problem here. This is no place to get perplexed. I've got to get my wits about me and prove how things happened once and for all. All right, Mr. Wright, let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bust from the cafeteria back to his room? The monkey. A monkey? Everyone knows Money. He loves shiny objects of any size. Oh, like when he stole the ventriloquist's ring. So are you saying this witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own and then brought it back home. Home? Money lives in Acro's room. Acro's room? The bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny. Maybe you should put the whip down sometime and read the court record. My, those are some very nice cards he's holding. Yes, and they're made of platinum, which is very shiny. Acro? Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. If he wasn't able to handle that himself, I'd be on the market for a new roommate. Order, order, I said order. Miss Von Karma, where is the bust in question at this moment? I don't know. We're searching for it as we speak. This is a rather strange turn of events. But let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then? Well, in that event, something else would have been used as a murder weapon. Wait. Then you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron. Mr. Wright's argument was so circular, I'm a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Wright. And what is that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony. That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright? Nick, don't let her beat you now. I mean, this is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were two people at the scene of the crime. No, there wasn't. There was a bust being held by a rope. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? The bust? He saw Max's... Ow. I asked who was the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question. Au contraire, mon frère. It does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw. How is that possible? It's simple. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to the bust. It would be easy to hang one off the cards in the bust's hands. Idiot. Who in their right mind would put a cloak on a bust? Doesn't matter who put it on the bust. Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? A question is of the utmost importance to this case, don't you agree? Oh, he caught me. So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? Who did it? Well, Russell Berry was wearing it on the way there. So maybe he did it? Fool. Him? You were saying he was the victim himself, Russell Berry. That's what I'm saying. The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust. Placed the cloak isn't really the right way of putting it. Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright? Explain yourself. Nick, do you really have a handle on all of this? I'm fine, Maya. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright. So you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room and went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognize him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house. by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trilo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now this is when the magic happens. At the very instant that the bust hit the victim, you just wait a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't true. It can't be. It's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. The circus isn't over yet. What? The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused a certain sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Mo Curls, the clown. When Mo looked out his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Mo saw the bust being raised with the cloak dangling on it, primarily because in his wheelchair he couldn't see out of his window. So he just kept pulling the bust up. And that's how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro. It could only have been you. Acro has been playing mind games with all of us. He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now. So, what now? You've graced us with a rather long-winded tale, but do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true? Do I have any evidence? In this court, only two things matter: the power of evidence and the power of my whip. Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence? Nick, they say they want evidence. I just explained how there can only be one possible murder method, but there is still something unusual about Mo's eyewitness account. Unusual? A contradiction, actually. Okay then, use that and get out of this jam. That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unravelled the trick to this magic case. Well, I mean, it's got to be the hat, because the hat was still on his head. We've got some. Okay, I think that might be right. The problem is Max's three symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses. Those symbols were a problem numerous times during yesterday's proceedings. Yesterday, there were two contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. But the theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. You fool, do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday? He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's. Makes sense. If you look at it that way, then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of. Fine, you've got one, but how about the other contradiction? The other contradiction Remember what that ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the client's testimony doesn't match. The client said there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick? Of course. I can explain all of it. What was that? Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust. Order, order. This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads. Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Well, so much for that theory. Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes, I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that? Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. He didn't mean to kill him, though, did he? He meant to kill Regina. Your Honour, I'd like you to hear Acro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubting that Acro deeply respected the ringmaster. Acro's motive. It seems this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. Okay, this court will now take a 10-minute recess. Okay. Let's just save this bit. I don't think the end of this can take very long, so I'm going to try and get it done. So let's just go into part 2 of the trial, and then hopefully we've done this one and we can do the last case, or start the last case tomorrow. Okay, let's see what we've got. I can't believe it. Acro? It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is, and to think he was almost the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that hated? Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did. But I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know? But you're not, which is kind of the reason why. Hey, pal. You're gonna ignore me after I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence? Detective Gumshoe. Forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. Now, detective, I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? I've got some really tasty milk. How about a card trick, detective? Oh, well, if you insist. Now, about that evidence she mentioned, what is it? Here you go. Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room. Yep, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later. Okay. Won't Ms. Von Karma be mad that you're doing this? That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything, but everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan. I don't know, Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set into motion. Final plans? That reminds me, I've got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here. What did he mean by that? The very end part? I'm not sure. It's all pretty cryptic to me. Oh, one more thing. Don't scare me like that. It looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. What? For me? It's milk. The reception area looks like some sort of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils. An entire dairy's worth of milk. For me. Okay, back into court we go. Right, I want to look at that scarf. Court is now back in session. But hold on 1 minute. I want to look at this. Stained with blood and a small quantity of pepper. Okay. Ms. Von Karma, please continue from where you left off. I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime. Okay. Understood? Now, Mr. Dingling. Yes, Your Honour. Please proceed with your testimony. Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favour and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Ugh. Okay, about the ringmaster. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at about 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. You're such a thoughtful young man. As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem. You are absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there? Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. The defence has a right to cross-examine the witness. You're so tactless, Mr. Wright. You just don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive. Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness. Okay, so should we just badger him? I was told not to badger him. Let's just... I want it... Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow. How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Are we not going to be able to ask any questions? No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life. Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honour. Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with them. I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk. What do you think, Nick? I don't know. I think the more I cross-examine him, the worse I end up looking in the end. You mean, I get the feeling that this cross-examination was a trap. Yeah, Von Karma set you up again. Okay, I don't want to cross-examine him anymore. Okay, so I've got to keep going. Why did they abandon you? We? Yes, my brother Sean and I. What? You have a brother? How old were you when this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old and my brother was 4. Your parents were very cruel, weren't they? Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the very big circus. Nick, the judge is getting misty-eyed. He's got a soft spot. La, 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 la. He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like. No crying in court. Let's keep going. The witness may proceed with his testimony. Okay, let's just keep. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. What about the other people at the circus? This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come and see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story. That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him. Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person? I know, he seems like a nice guy, which is what makes this so difficult. So then, how long have you been a performer? I became an acrobat when I was 9 years old. You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dinglingberries. It's nearly a household name. Even I've heard of them in Germany. Liar. The point is, I wanted to be of some use to the circus. You are truly a remarkable young man. The judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. I think that will be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely. Exactly right, Your Honour. Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question. Go ahead, Your Honour. I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead? No. Nick. Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honour, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven. What? That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Ow. Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget? You made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was. This is the real killer of Rustleberry, ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right. The end of things? Acro? You didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night. It was Regina. You stuck the note in her pocket. She was the one that put it on the notice board. What did you just say? I'm saying that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Rustleberry to begin with. What? Order. Bailiff, I don't care who it is. Smack anyone who's loud in the face. Twice, if you must. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Ow. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Surely, yeah. Regina Berry. This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct? Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you? You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question. He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to do is say, "You're wrong." That's it. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Enough. Mr. Wright, allow me to... Ow. The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself. Huh? And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence. Now. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl. Well, we've got the note, right? Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat. Inside the victim's tailcoat. Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m. So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note? Yes, but there's just one little problem. Problem? Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Regina Berry. Order, 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 Mr. Wright. This little theory of yours. It's the truth, Your Honour. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board. That's when her father, the ringmaster, saw the note? That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in that plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Regina. That's incredible. Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bust and looking out of the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was. I've got it. Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza. And that's when he let the bust fly. Hey Nick, isn't Regina listening to all of this from the audience? She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here. I hope Regina can handle it. Acro wrote this note to Regina. Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. The scurf? Yes, what about that line? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Berry, it would mean that this note is declaring Regina Berry is a murderer. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what that note meant, which is why he went to the plaza, in place of his lovely daughter. Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note? The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago, and now I am more than ready to show this court what happened at that time. Moron. Wait. Are you sure that it relates to the present case? It does indeed, Your Honour. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer that question, the judge is going to think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually the pepper that was in the box. Achoo. What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for. What do you mean? Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright. So what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Berry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper? Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. Foolish fool, who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim? Bat? Who is this? That is Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead. Regina, she did that to him? Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state. A lion? Ms. Regina Berry is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her. So then, what happened to Acro's brother? He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident. I see. Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? No. She put the pepper on the scarf. Or the pepper was... The lion biting Bat was no accident at all. What? You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There is no way that Regina would ever incite a lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother Bat. The scarf? That's just a scarf. Acro? This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who is the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him. Regina? There is something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honour. What might that be? Pepper. Pepper? Pepper. Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment? Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal, but out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that? It still seems like the judge just doesn't get it. Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling? Smiling? The lion was smiling. Right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling. Lions smile. I've never heard of them smiling. However, lions sneeze. What? Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. He sneezed because of all that pepper on the scarf. What? You fool. You've got to be kidding me. What's the matter, Ms. Von Karma? I object for objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it? You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke, as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot. It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. Are you telling me that what I said was true? Acro? You can't mean. Witness. Are you confirming the defence's claim? Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder. What do you mean by that? The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory. And what would that problem be? The same problem it's always been. Evidence. If I dropped Max's bust on the top of the ringmaster, where is the evidence that proves that claim? You mean the conclusive evidence? The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or lack thereof, to be more precise. The murder weapon. The bust that the defense claims was used. If that were to be found in Acro's room, and if it were covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes. Yes, it would be. The bust. Nick, you've got to do something. This is the last step. If I can get this one right, the case is won. Let's just see how things... It might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but why aren't you going to search his room? It looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now you know the true meaning of Von Karma total justice. I guess. I figured with you. That's the least I should expect. You'd leave no stone unturned. A Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday. What did you find? There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for. See, Mr. Wright, the bust wasn't in my room. Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise, and we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second, something's funny about all this. It looks like you lack the final nail to put in my coffin. But, what about the scarf? What about the note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offence, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now. Do something, Nick. Don't let this case slip away. The bust, where is it now? He's got to have it with him. Is he in his wheelchair? You're Phoenix Wright. You know where that bust is. I'm sure you do. There's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is? It seems his case is coming to a close. The defence's counter-arguments look to have fallen short. Thank you for your support. Ugh. I'm terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I think that brings an end to the cross-examination of this witness. Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous and I just bit my tongue. Huh? What? We need time to do what? Ow. Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she? Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright? Well, why are you asking me? The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck. Hey, wait. You can't be serious. Acrobats always have their lives on the line, don't they? That's how Acro's lived his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose. Very well, the defense may proceed. He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim. The only way through is forward. The murder weapon. Where is Max's bust now? It has to be with him. It can't be anywhere else. It's obvious. The bust is inside this very courtroom. It's obviously where? Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. He's got to have it with him. He's got to be on him. Acro, I'm sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you're a big guy and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me it'd be really easy to say, hide a bust under there. Once again, your penchant for humour hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your light-heartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Ms. Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it, in the only place that you could hide it, under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again, would you please remove the blanket from your lap? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. You fool. How could you... You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, two of them. Two of them? Ms. Francisca Von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? There's just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? There were two pieces of decisive evidence, the cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know. But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Ms. Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of a court, hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Ms. Von Karma. It all makes sense now. I can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing. You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know I sure couldn't. I can't believe it. Me, make a mistake. Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If I only hadn't done that. It seems we finally arrived at the truth. Acro? Yes, Your Honour. Did you kill the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russellberry? Yes, Your Honour. I'm responsible for that crime. Acro. All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why he'd tease her. One day my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. Just 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. It's the DPD guy. Okay, so that's why she covered the scarf with pepper. I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely that she would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. And that's when you decided to do something about Regina? How dreadful. So are you saying that you're a victim in all of this as well? No, that's not what I mean. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. At first I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet. This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself. I'm an idiot. I can't believe it. You beat me again. I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. Not guilty. Woohoo! This court is adjourned. Okay, back in the defendant's lobby. Fabulous. But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this. Acro, the ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside, huh? That's a good question. One I don't know the answer to. Many congrats, but only at max 1 million of them. Thank you. What's with the vibe in this room? We're just thinking about Acro. No. If you worry about people too much, then you'll be like this forever and never be happy. Huh? What? She's been like this for a while now. It's all my fault. Sweetie pie. Bat and Acro, they're never coming back. Now everyone's going to split up. Regina. Mr. Wright, tell me something. What do you want to know, Regina? Acro said something right at the end. I just couldn't up and leave yet. Does that mean that Acro, he's going to try and get his revenge on me? I don't think so. He's not going to do that to you, Regina. Are you sure? You're really sure? I can believe that. Yep, Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore. If that's true, then I want to see some evidence. Huh? I want to know you're not just making up stuff about Acro not wanting revenge. Bat? He couldn't leave because of Bat. Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again. Bat. That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. But now that Acro's been caught... Uh-huh. I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes. And then he can meet Acro again. That's so sweet of you, Regina. I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat. Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind. Hey, Max. What is it, Mo? We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract. I understand. What a fabulous thing to do to me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's going to happen in the circus now? Ah, that's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision. What is it? I've decided that I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn this circus into the best circus this world has ever seen. The best circus the world has ever seen? Don't laugh. That's quite the goal. Yay, I can't wait. Then I guess that changes things. Huh? There's only one thing the best circus in the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means this circus needs the best magician in the world has ever seen. Max? Let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. Regina, you're going to help them out too, aren't you? I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me. What are you talking about, Regina? Why do you think that I brought you to court today? We've got to work together to make the very big circus bigger than it's ever been. Mo? Mo's right, sweetie pie. It can't be the very big circus without Regina Berry. Max? Nick, it seems like everything is going to turn out all right here. I can't wait to go and see the best circus the world has ever seen. Well, I'll save you the most fabulous seats. It'll take us a while to get ready, but I'm going to order special whoopee cushion seats. Oh dear. I see. What made the case? Yesterday's surprise raid. It really paid off. Just like you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you? It was just a theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney. You mean Mr. Wright? Is this Edgeworth? Oh, is this Edgeworth? Well, of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you need not worry. I plan to personally stop by the Chief Prosecutor's office as soon as I get back. Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, edgy. Awesome. Okay, I am done. A brand new episode has been added and Edgeworth is back. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for today. We're going to start the investigation and the court case tomorrow. Okay. Okie dokie, let's go see if there's anyone to raid before I log off, and then we will catch up tomorrow. Hopefully we get the last part of Justice for All done, and then we're on to the third one in the trilogy, and we're nearly done. We're nearly there. So this is good. Okay. Let's see if there's anybody on. Okay, there's nobody about today, so I'm going to say good night, goodbye. Thank you for follows, thanks for watching, thanks for all that stuff, and I will hopefully catch up with you tomorrow. Bye.